Hey class, so today we're going to be having our spelling lesson now. We're actually going to go over affix rule number 4, so that's the double rule. So it says that when a stressed syllable ends in one vowel and then one consonant, you double the last consonant before adding a vowel suffix. Alright, we're going to say it together. So when a stressed syllable ends in one vowel, then one consonant, double the last consonant before adding a vowel suffix. Great job, guys. Before we do that, we're actually going to go over our graphemes next. Go ahead and go over our graphemes now, and we're just going to say the sounds. All right, here we go.
A, oi, or, oi. Sh, you, ks, k, ul, n, ah, o, u, z, y, I, w, ow, o, ks, t, ow, o, u, uf, off, ah, ow, qu, s, z, I, ch, th, g, j, a, ah, b, ow, o, u, ed, dit, of her, you, of early, r, a, e, n, a, sh, double e, sh, k, a, v, u, ch, k, sh, u, j, e, d, of worships, o, j, of church, o, n, I, of first, sh, z, n.
Great job, class. I'm going to just review a couple of these rules. So can you tell me, where would I use three-letter j?
Three-letter j comes after a single vowel that says a, I, a.
Great job. And then can I use this sh at the beginning of a word or at the end of a syllable?
Short sh comes at the beginning of any syllable after the first one.
Wonderful. And where would I use this two-letter a?
A two-letter A comes at the end of English words.
Okay. What about this two-letter a?
A two-letter A that does not come at the end of English words.
Great job, guys. We've gone over all of our graphemes. We're going to just have a short little quiz, just 10 of the graphemes. So I'm going to say them, then I'm going to have you say and write. So our first one is three-letter ch.
Ch.
O that we do use at the end of English words.
O that we do use at the end of English words.
U, you.
You.
Of her.
Of her.
Ed, t.
Ed, d, t.
If I.
S, z,
X. Ow, o.
ow, o.
Great job, class. That was the end of our quiz. All right, class, so now that we've done all that, we're gonna go back over this affix rule that we're learning today. It's affix rule number 4, the double rule. So we're gonna say it together as a class. When a stressed syllable ends in one vowel, then one consonant, double the last consonant before adding a vowel suffix. Great job. So we're gonna put our pencils down. Your eyes are gonna be on me. Our first word is actually gonna use this pattern so we can see it in action. So the first word is beggar. The beggar needed food. So how many syllables are in the word beggar?
Beggar. 2 syllables.
Good job. So we're gonna think to spell beg-gar. We're gonna help me sound it out, so we're gonna use our fingergrams next. So beg, b-e-g, and then gar, g-ar. Great job. So it's beg-gar. So we're gonna say as you write.
B-e-g-g-r.
Great job. So you're gonna read the word you've written.
Beggar.
Perfect. And now you're gonna teach me.
B-e-g-g-r.
Great job. Does your word look like my word?
Yes.
Perfect. So now we're gonna code this word. So where do we start?
We are going to put a breve over the e
Perfect.
because it is a lac sound.
Great. And what about this one?
And then we are going to put a diaresis over the and underline the r
And why do we underline the R?
because it is one of the graphemes that we reviewed earlier.
Perfect, perfect. All right, so we're gonna say our word one more time.
Beggar. Beggar.
Great job. So now we're gonna do our next word. So our next word is gonna be the word perfect, okay? So we're gonna write the word perfect. We're gonna write it below the word beggar on your paper. So how many syllables are in the word perfect?
Perfect. 2 syllables.
2 syllables. Great job. So we're gonna think to spell perfect. So now we're gonna use our fingergrams. So and then fect. Great job. All right, so it's perfect. Say as you write. All right, now read the word you have written.
Perfect.
Great job. Now teach it to me. Perfect. All right, so does your word look like my word?
Yes.
Great. Now we're gonna code it. So where do we start here?
We are going to put a weld under the
Great.
and we are going to put a breve over the e.
Great job. All right. So why did we put a weld under these two?
The is one of the graphemes we reviewed. It's the of her.
Great job. So we're gonna say it one more time. So perfect. Great job. And then we read it.
Perfect.
Great job. All right. And our next word is gonna be the word throne. Jesus sits on the throne. So how many syllables are in the word throne?
Throne. 1 syllable.
1 syllable. Great job. So we're gonna think to spell throne. So now we're gonna help me sound it out. Throne.
Throne.
Silent final E. Great job. So it's throne. So say as you write.
Silent final E.
All right, now read the word you've written.
Throne.
Great job. Now teach it to me.
Silent final E.
Great job. All right, now does your word look like mine?
It does.
Great job. So now we're gonna code this word.
So we underline the because it's a grapheme.
Great job.
And we put a macron over the O and make a bridge to the silent final E because the silent final E we underline.
How many times do we underline it?
Twice.
Great job.
And that's our V2 rule.
Great job. That's great job. So why does O say O?
Because the silent final E makes the O say its name because of the V2 rule, the first one. The vowel sound changes because of the E.
Great job, great job. All right. So our next rule, or our next word is going to be chosen. I was chosen for the job. So how many syllables is in the word chosen?
Chosen.
Good job.
2 syllables.
Wonderful. All right, so we're going to think to spell chosen. So we're going to use our fingergrams, so help me sound it out. So
Cho.
ch,
O.
and then zin,
Z.
n, n. Good job. All right, so it's chosen. So now say as you write.
Ch. O. Z. N.
Perfect. Can you read your word back to me?
Chosen.
Great. Now we're going to teach me.
Ch. O. Z. N.
Great. Does your word look like my word?
Yes.
Great. So now we're going to code it. So where do we start?
We underline the ch because it's a grapheme,
Perfect.
and then we put a macron over the O
Mhm.
because of the V1 rule.
Perfect. Yes. V1 rule.
And then the z is making the second sound.
So how do we code that if it has its second sound?
We put a 2 over the z,
Wonderful.
and then we have a breve over the e.
Great. Great job. All right. So now we're just going to read our word one more time.
Chosen. Chosen.
Great job. All right, so our next word is a little bit longer. It's generation. So the young generation needed some help. So how many syllables are in the word generation?
Gen.
Shun.
4 syllables.
4 syllables. Great job. All right. So we're going to think to spell shun. So we're going to help me sound it out with your fingergrams. So
Gen.
j,
N. A. Shun.
Sh,
N.
Great job. All right, so it's shun. So say as you write.
N. A. Shun.
Great job. All right. Can you read your word that you've written?
Generation.
All right, now you're going to teach me.
N. A. Shun.
Great job. All right, does your word look like my word?
Yes.
Wonderful. So now we're just going to code it.
So the j is making the second sound of g,
Good job.
j, which
So why is the g making the j sound here?
because of the C1 rule, which is if C says and G says j before E, I, or Y.
Great job. So how do we code that since it has a pattern?
Since it has a pattern, we do an underdot underneath the j.
Great job. All right.
And then the e is a breve because it's a lax sound.
Wonderful.
The is a weld, and that's one of our graphemes, of her. A is long A, so it's a macron over the A.
Wonderful. And what rule, what pattern does that go with?
V1, which
Good job.
is at AOU mostly says AEOU mostly says AEOU at the end of a syllable.
Perfect. And I got one more syllable here to code.
So the sh is underlined because it's a grapheme,
Great job.
and the would be a breve over the ah.
Great job. All right, so we're going to sound it one more time.
Shun. Generation.
Great job. All right, so our next word is going to be turns. She turns around. How many syllables are in the word turns?
Turns, one syllable.
One syllable. Great job. So we think to spell turns. So we're going to use our fingergrams. Turns. Turns. So we just think to spell turns. So say as you write. Perfect. So can you read the word you have written?
Turns.
Great job. So now you're going to teach me. Great job. Does your word look like my word?
Yes.
Great. So now we're going to just go ahead and code it.
So we weld the because it's the of church, and the z we bracket.
Great job. And why do we bracket this?
It is the A2
Good job.
rule because it's plural, because it's an ending, an extra ending.
And why don't we go ahead and say our A2 rule so make sure we remember it.
Okay.
Ready? So
To make a word plural, just add S, unless the last phoneme hisses or the last grapheme changes.
perfect, perfect. All right. And then what else do we have to add to this?
The Z is the second sound of S, so we put a 2 over top of it.
Great job. All right. So we're just going to read it one more time. Turns. Wonderful. All right. So our last word is going to be the word judge. Don't judge others. So how many syllables is in the word judge?
Judge, one syllable.
One syllable. All right. So we think to spell judge.
Judge.
So we're going to help me sound it out. Judge. J. Great job. All right. So judge. Can you say as you write?
J. J.
Perfect. So read the word that you've written.
Judge.
All right. Now you're going to teach me.
J. J.
All right. Wonderful. Does your word look like my word?
Yes.
Wonderful. Okay. So now we're just going to go ahead and code it.
We're going to put a breve over the and underline the J because it's our 3-letter J, which is a grapheme.
Wonderful. And why did we use 3-letter J here?
Because of the C3 rule, which is k, j, ch, come after a single vowel that says a.
Great job. So we've got the here, so we put it right after that. Great job. All right, that's all of our words. We're going to go ahead and have a little spelling quiz on these new words that we've learned. If you can go ahead and get out a blank sheet of paper. All right. So what we're going to do is I've combined some of our new words into a sentence. I'm going to tell you the sentence. I'm going to have you repeat it back to me, and then you're going to say as you write. All right? So our first sentence is Jesus turns his eyes on us as he sits on his perfect throne. So Jesus turns his eyes on us as he sits on his perfect throne. Great job. If you'll say as you write.
Jesus turns his eyes on us as he sits on his perfect throne.
Great job. All right, so our next sentence is the beggar is part of the young generation. So we'll repeat it back to me.
The beggar is part of the young generation.
Great job. So say as you write.
The beggar is part of the young generation.
Great job. All right, so for our last sentence, it was I was chosen by the judge. So you're going to repeat it back to me. I was chosen by the judge. Great job. So say as you write.
I was chosen by the judge.
Wonderful. So you guys did so great on both of the little quizzes you took today. Just to kind of review and end our lesson today, the new rule we learned was affix rule number 4. That's your double pattern. So we're just gonna say it together one more time. So when a stressed syllable ends in one vowel and then one consonant, double the last consonant before adding a vowel suffix. Great job, guys. So this is just one of our many patterns. We have 15 patterns overall for the English language, and just to make a little biblical connection for that, God gave us the ability and the capacity to be able to learn all these patterns and to learn to read and to learn to write, and we just really need to be thankful for the opportunity that He has given us to be able to do this.